Okay. Well, okay. Welcome to the Board of Supervisors regular meeting for Monday, August 17th. This meeting will be recorded on Zoom and streamed on YouTube with a slight delay. We do have video. We've had some issues though, so please nobody be upset. The video goes out. We might only have sound at some points, but hopefully this will work through the entire meeting. The township will accept public comments remotely via Zoom only. Remote participants are asked to remain muted except when making public comment. During opportunities for public comment, the chair will first invite public comment from in-person attendees, and then we'll ask public comment from remote participants. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Non-residents must let residents speak first, and non-residents can comment as time allows. If you would like to make a comment remotely, use the raised hand icon in Zoom and turn your camera on. When the chair calls on you, please unmute yourself and clearly state your name and address for the meeting minutes. Is anyone else recording this meeting? Okay, great. Let's call it to order and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Prior to tonight's regular meeting, the board met for a workshop to discuss West Goshen Township's park and open space plan and the preliminary 2027 budget, and to accept public comment. So moving on to the approval of the meeting minutes from August 3rd, 2026.
I approve meeting minutes from August 3rd, 2026. What's it?
Would move.
Make a motion.
I will second that motion.
Okay, any comments on that from the board?
Yep.
Any comments from the in-house audience? Comments from the online audience? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving on, departmental reports. And first we have Treasurer Peter Bars.
Thank you. The general fund out of the month of July 2026 with $8,782,151.24 in the bank. The open space fund had a cash account balance of $1,539,024.83 at the end of July. The sewer fund out of the month of July with $2,461,704.61 in the bank. The refuse fund ended the month of July with $768,560.75 in the bank. Our capital projects fund ended the month of July with $1,122,891.28 in the bank. Our debt service fund had a cash account balance as of July 31st, 2026 of $1,924,908.14. Our capital reserve fund ended the month of July with $7,670,192.02 in the bank. Our liquid fuels fund had a month's end cash account balance of $779,757.28. Our escrow fund had a month's end cash account balance of $1,014,427, even, leaving us with reconciled cash account balances in all funds, in all accounts, in all funds as of the end of July 2026 of $26,063,617.15. Our major fund, our general fund, ended the month of July up 281,000 over where we were 1 year ago. So that fund remains strong, which is important, which is our general operating fund. I'm happy to report we are up about $720,000 over where we were on all funds in our cash from where we were a year ago. So that's a very strong position. And I'm also happy to report that really we invest our the staff here does a great job of making sure that we're making the most we can on our invested and our cash dollars. We are currently earning rates of 3.04 to 3.81% on all the monies that we have here at the township. So that's something something to be proud of. And they do move. They are conscious of moving money, excess dollars, into the highest yielding accounts. So that's without prodding. They do that all on their own. So they're really doing a nice job. And that concludes my report, other than the fact that, you know, we're working on budgets. As you know, we're in the process of working with Mila and her team on budgets. You know, we've got 2 preliminarily done. Now we've got to continue and continue to work on the remaining. So, and we will do that. Unless there's any questions, I conclude my report.
Thank you. Okay, and next we have Fire Marshal Jerry D'Annunzio.
Good evening. July was a slow month for us, which is good. There were 77 calls for service in Westtown Township. That's fire and medical calls. 43 calls were in the Westchester Fire Department District and 34 in the Goshen District. Year to date, there's been 694 fire and EMS calls in Westtown. The Westchester Fire Department responded to 6 calls and Goshen responded to 9. Remaining 62 calls were EMS in nature. I continue to provide a lot of feedback that Neil asked me on different development plans, which seems to take up most of my time. Fortunately, there were no fire marshal requests in July, and myself and Bob Hall met with the other emergency management coordinators and the townships around us. We're going to try to meet maybe every 6 months or quarterly to keep this all abreast of stuff. So otherwise, we're doing good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, next, Planning Commission, Rob Pingar.
Good evening, Rob Pingar, Planning Commissioner. I'm here to report on the Planning Commission's activities of our most recent meeting, August 5th, 2026. We had 2 items on the agenda. Number 1 was preliminary final land development application for 1032 and 1036 Wilmington Pike, which is right across the street, the old Abbey Green motel, which was converted to some sort of shops. And that was the applicant. It was the first time they were before us with a land development application. At that meeting, we had the traffic engineer's report to evaluate. The traffic engineer was in attendance. We did not have our township engineer's report yet, or the Chester County Planning Commission's report yet. So because they were not prepared, or they were not ready, they're before us at our meeting this week, which is on the 19th, this Wednesday. So Dee Sabatino will be back to us in 2 days on Wednesday evening on our agenda. Like I said, we talked about traffic, PennDOT requirements. Our traffic engineer did his report, and we had a lengthy discussion with the applicant about that, and we'll continue to discuss that with them. Are there any questions about Dee Sabatino?
No questions?
Thank you. Also on the agenda for the meeting on August 5th was this. I think it was the first time discussing. Maybe it was the second time discussing potential amendments to the parking provisions in Westtown Township. We discussed cars parking on lawns. Some people do park their cars on lawns and we get complaints. The people that do park on lawns, that's their preference because they have a lot of cars and they can't park them all on their driveway. So that's something that's continuing to take up our time to figure out what is best for the township. Of course, you all, it's a policy decision that you'll have to make. And when we finish with our draft ordinance amendment, that's something that you'll you'll weigh in on. Also limits on how many cars can be parked in a driveway and to what extent they can park in a driveway. Stormwater management considerations if people are widening their driveways or parking on the lawns. And also on-street parking. We actually have an ordinance that there's no parking permitted on streets from, I think, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., but I'm not sure the police department has ever enforced that, and I'm not sure if there's even signs that would have to be posted, I think, that would regulate that. So that's, we as a planning commission and you as supervisors need to consult with our police department about it, and that's something that we're gonna arrange with them and at some future date. So that was the meeting on August 5th. This coming meeting, 2 nights from now on the 19th, again, we're going to be discussing DeSabatino because we expect to have our Township Engineers Review Letter and the Chester County Planning Commission's Review Letter. So we will continue this discussion. I don't think we'll make any recommendations that evening. But also on the agenda is going to be Stonecroft Manor, which is the Stokes property, their new submission for preliminary final, I think it's preliminary final approval. And it'll be our first time seeing that. I'm told that the applicant is not going to be in attendance. We're still going to evaluate it. I'm not sure what review letters we're going to have for that meeting, but between DeSabatino and Stonecroft, it'll take up the entire 2 hours of our meeting. We usually start at 7, usually finish up around 9 or a little bit after. So any questions on either the meeting on the 5th or the upcoming meeting on the 19th?
No questions.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and Lieutenant Renninger?
Thank you. Monthly totals for both townships for July of 2026, there were 1,808 calls for service, 775 were in Westtown specifically. That makes the total number for calls of service in Westtown 6,420 for this year. We invite residents to visit our website, social media sites to learn more about the police department and our activities. As far as Westtown goes, in July of 2026, there were 11 animal complaints, 16 motor vehicle crashes, 2 disturbances for domestics, 12 erratic driver complaints, 9 frauds, 3 harassment, 2 mental health, 1 sex offense, 2 simple assaults, 2 theft reports, 2 retail thefts, 8 suspicious conditions, 4 trespassing plates, 41 traffic-related incidents, 9 well-being checks, and 1 warrant service. 463 proactive incidents, 110 of which were traffic stops, patrol checks, and business checks. A breakdown of all those incidents can be found in the Police Commission's agenda packet for for July, and the Crime Watch page under the blotter section. Just to update you, the PA license plate replacement event, we're happy to report that the PA license replacement event that the department held in July was a success at the East Goshen Township Building. Officers who worked the event assisted well over 16 individuals with their license plate renewals. We plan on making this an annual event going forward. Additionally, the Goshen Fair was also a success. The police department, from the police department's point of view, the department only needed to make 1 arrest for public drunkenness. We're happy that the fair was once again safe and enjoyable for all to attend. And finally, as many of you are aware, our department responded to a tragic incident at Summit House Complex in East Goshen earlier this month where a 9-year-old female was shot and a woman in her 40s committed suicide. Our officers responded to and investigated this incident in true professional and brave manner that they always do. The 9-year-old continues to recover from her injuries and her prognosis is good. Please keep her and her family in your thoughts and prayers. That's all for the police.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to public comment, non-agenda items.
Good evening, Patricia Ryan Platt, 1069 Edgewood Chase. I just have 2 things I want to talk about. Have all of the supervisors received the supervisor training, which the Pennsylvania State Association of Township Supervisors calls the boot camp?
I have. I know,
When you say all, I believe Tom have taken it before and then Jody have taken it last year and this year. And there is no one scheduled until November. It's usually in November.
There are online classes.
I know that Fred can talk for himself if you've taken some classes.
I have taken the PSAT 2-day course at Penn State, just finished it up.
Okay. Do all of you have the second class township supervisor handbooks?
yes.
Yes, there's 3 supervisors. Okay, I'm not getting any. Jody answered so. Also, why don't we have individual email addresses for the supervisors?
We do.
We can do that because
yes, they
things
do.
bounced back from me, so I was just curious. So we.
Yeah, so so we do have a general supervisor's email that the supervisors receive as well as I do. And then the individual supervisor email for each of the supervisors.
Okay, could have been my computer. So that's it. I'm glad you're all well trained. I'm glad you have all the information you're supposed to have. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any other comments? Oh, but we still have somebody here.
Good evening. Linda Charishore, 218 Baywood Road. I spoke at the last meeting on August 3rd about the dismissal of the Historical Commission. I also sent an email to you all asking for clarity. And at that meeting, the chair indicated that someone would respond. To date, I have not even received an acknowledgement from any of you of that email. This is ironic because I just happened to find the information about the Historical Commission. I don't even know who these people are that served on it. I just felt that there was an injustice here and I just wanted to find out more information and get some answers. And I've heard nothing. And your non-response to my inquiry is concerning. And I know that you're aware, but for the benefit of others in the room and online, executive sessions under the Sunshine Act regarding a personnel matter are the discussing the firing, hiring, promotion, disciplining of a public officer or an employee, discussing dismissal of volunteers, not employees, behind closed doors is not permitted or appropriate. And we're not getting any answers for why the Historical Commission was let go. I feel like there should be more transparency with respect to why they were let go. And I feel like you should have given some kind of supported documentation or something. I mean, as I said, I don't even know who these people are. I just feel like the taxpayers have a right to know. Thank you.
Okay, and moving on, anybody else in-house?
Hi, my name is Carrie Rosscamp, 227 Sage Hill Lane, Thornbury. I have good news, actually. I spoke last week about the Turk's Head Trail, this 9.29 proposed trail that would connect Westchester Borough and the Wawa station in Middleton. So first of all, just to reiterate, we will have a historic train ride on the 30th, which we hope that the various people who are interested in this trail can attend. We'll give you an opportunity to see the SEPTA corridor from the vantage point of the train, at least from Westchester Borough down to Glen Mills. Discounted tickets are available. They're only $10 for adults, $5 for children. The good news is that we've been reaching out to various people to see if they'd be interested in sponsoring us for a local share account grant application. We got a lot of interest from the Westchester Business Investment District. We'll be meeting with John O'Brien. As I mentioned, these will be up to $1 million projects are eligible, and there's no match to the municipality. So that's a fantastic opportunity for us, and we're hoping to get that done this fall. This other piece of good news is that I had just reached out in a cold call to people at the Wawa Corporation because their corporate headquarters is on Route 1, very near the train station, which would be the trailhead. Got a call back from Brian Pinto, who's a foundation manager over there, and I will be meeting with Michael Pinto, be meeting with Michael and his supervisor, Elizabeth Simeone, who is a Wawa Foundation board president. And they want to know a lot more about the trail because they think it's a good idea. So I think that's all very promising news, and we'll keep you apprised of developments. Those meetings are coming up on September 1st for the meeting with John O'Brien and the Westchester BID group, and September 3rd with the Wawa people. Thanks.
Thanks, Carrie. Okay, anybody else in-house? Okay, moving on to Mr. I was just saying that. Mr. Simkovich, go ahead, please.
Hi, folks. Anthony Simkovich, 821 Kimberly Lane over here in Westchester. This is a question maybe for Mr. Pingar or the board. It sounds like the planning commission meeting, is it a possibility that there could actually be an approval that comes out of that would then go to the board of supervisors? Is that what I heard?
For which project?
For the Stokes property?
Hi, Rob Pingar, Planning Commissioner. I believe all I said was that the Stonecroft Estates project is on our agenda for this coming Wednesday night. I didn't make any reference to any recommendation to the board. For Stonecroft.
But is it possible that could get approved that night at the meeting?
I would guess that I would say that it's less likely that the planning commission would make a recommendation to the board of supervisors, because it's only our first time seeing the latest plan, and usually it takes more than one meeting.
And that's kind of what I thought when I heard the word final approval. It sounded like it was possible that the plan could have been approved by the planning commission to then go to the board of supervisors.
No, like I said, it'll be our first time actually seeing this project in its latest form, whatever that is. And I do have a set of plans at home, and I think that's my homework for the next day or two. But like I said, knowing that it's our first time reviewing it, I think it's less likely that we would be making a recommendation to the board of supervisors.
And just a follow-up item, according to the website, the next planning commission meeting, September 9th, there's nothing that lists a planning commission meeting for Wednesday night.
I don't believe the agenda's been finalized yet.
I'm
So
talking about
there's-
just the calendar. It's not on the calendar.
It should be on the calendar. I'll check the calendar. But yeah, the agenda and meeting minutes are usually posted on Tuesday.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments from the online audience? All right, moving on to old business, which we have no old business, so moving on to the new business. We're going to consider the preliminary and final land development plan for the Westtown School Dining Hall project. So I'm going to read this, and then I would love for you guys to come up and chat. The Westtown School is requesting land development approval for demolition of the existing business manager's office and construction of a new 23,600 square foot dining hall building, a two-way private roadway extension connecting the new building to the West School Lane, and a closed loop geothermal system under existing multipurpose field to serve the new dining hall. The new building includes kitchen and dining facilities, 2 elevators, restrooms, a wraparound terrace and patio, off-street loading space for deliveries, and an equipment yard. The proposed building will be serviced by campus water system and public sewer. The stormwater management facilities will consist of a new subsurface infiltration basin and relocation of an existing subsurface infiltration basin. The applicant has requested several waivers. The applicant was granted an approval for variances by the zoning hearing board. The application has been reviewed by the Chester County Planning Commission and Westtown Planning Commission. At its meeting on July 8th, the Westtown Planning Commission passed a motion recommending approval of the application and several waivers as requested by the applicant and any other additional waivers that may come out of the continuing review by the township consultants, contingent on resolution of any concerns raised by the township consultants.
Hello, Sarah Poindexter. I'm the engineer of record with Studio Sistema. I'm here to represent the project. I know, hopefully you've had a chance to review the plans. That was a great introduction, so I'm not sure if you just want to go straight into questions or if you need more information.
The main question I have, reading through all this, I was very confused about what of the conditions have been satisfied and which have not. And there seemed to be quite a few waivers you would ask for and other things. But where are we in terms of finally getting all of the approvals that you need from the various consultants?
So all the departments have issued their recommendation for approval. We do have a few lingering comments with the township engineer, which we've met with and have basically come up with responses that they'll accept, but there's no additional waivers added since the Planning Commission reviewed the plans.
Well,
We do have our consultants here if you have specific questions.
right. Well, I would just like to get a final review of what is outstanding and if we can move on this just with the idea that we can approve it with the understanding that those conditions will be met. So
There was 5 or 6 lingering comments. Most of them were some inconsistencies that were noted on the plans in addition to sure. In addition to a sight line that needed to be added to the plan that might shift a tree. But to my understanding, that's the most of the revisions to the plans.
Yes, Sarah's correct. So largely the comments that are outstanding relate to stormwater calculations and consistencies between tables and some of the reports, and also the lighting requirements that are part of zoning. So, and the sightline triangle, which Sarah just commented on. But those we met on earlier today just to refine the letters, and we're confident that we can come to a successful resolution.
okay. Okay, very good.
I have a question. You have a food service consultant to design your kitchens, but there's no design in the space, just a dining room. There's no equipment laid out or anything like that. So to meet national sanitation, you need to have that in the final documents.
So that would be a part of a building permit process. For land developments, you usually don't go in that much detail for the kitchen and the kitchen layout, just the general area of where it is. So once there is a land development approval and once all agreements are signed and the plan is recorded, the applicant would submit an application for a building permit, and the building code inspector would evaluate building permit. And if there are any issues, the applicant would have to address those. But it is all built in the process.
Can I say that?
Good.
Okay. Action. I move to have this approved, the primary final land development plan for West Town School Dining Hall, including the waivers as requested, subject to the satisfactory resolution of all outstanding issues identified in the township's consultant review letters.
Second that.
Any comments from the board?
No?
Any comments from the in-house audience? Any comments from the online audience? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on, we need to make a payment, applications number 6 and 7 to AJM Electric for the Pleasant Grove Pump Station Replacement Project. Carroll Engineering reviewed payment application 6 and 7 from AJM Electric Incorporated for the work related to the replacement of the Pleasant Grove Pump Station and is recommending payment. The work includes underground duct banks, generator pad and generator installation, gear package mobilization, equipment rentals, and cabling in duct banks.
I move to approve the payment application number 6 in the amount of $26,820 and the payment of application number 7 in the amount of $44,335.98 to AJM Electric Incorporated for the work related to the Pleasant Grove Pump Station Replacement Project.
Second that?
Any comments from the board?
No?
Any comments from the in-house audience? Any comments from the online audience? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and just, this is more of a note than something we need to vote on, but there will be a schedule change for the Westchester Area Council of Governments America 250 Drone Show. So the drone show portion of the Westchester Area Council of Governments America 250 event on August 2nd in Westchester had to be canceled due to the rain, unfortunately. The COG municipalities are proposing to reschedule the drone show for Thursday, September 3rd, 2026 at Exton Park. At its meeting on March 23rd, 2026, the board authorized payment of $3,000 to the WCA COG for the event. The drone show was $13,450 of the approximate $44,000 total cost of the event. Okay, so moving on to announcements. The Environmental Advisory Council does have a vacancy, and residents with an interest in environmental issues and sustainability are encouraged to apply. For more information, visit the EAC webpage or contact the township manager. We have yoga for adults ages 16 plus on Tuesdays, August 18th and 25th at 7 p.m. There is a gnome scavenger hunt August 17th through the 21st. So it is happening right now. And family bingo is Wednesday, August 19th from 6 to 7 p.m. Birding with BQ Saturday, August 22nd from 8 to 10 a.m. The office will be closed on Monday, September 7th for Labor Day. Monday trash collection moves to Tuesday, Thursday trash rolls to Friday, and Friday yard waste collection rolls to Saturday, September 12th. And announcing a holiday bus trip Wednesday, December 2nd from 8:45 a.m. to 5 p.m. Enjoy round trip motor coach services from Oakmore Mansion to the American Music Theater for the 2026 Christmas show, followed by shopping in Kitchen Kettle Village. $105 per adult and $80 per child includes transportation, show tickets, and gratuity. Westtown residents may call the township office to book now. Non-residents may book beginning October 1st. So moving on to public comment, all topics. Do we have any public comment here? Any public comment from the online audience? Okay, moving on to payment of the bills.
I make a motion to approve the general fund bills in the amount of $505,791.27. Open space funds bills of $1,620. Enterprise fund bills, $8,428.96. PLGITP card bills of $126,719.09. PGPS funds of $781.19 for a grand total of $649,011.26.
Second?
Any comments from the board? Any comments from the in-house audience? Any comments from the online audience? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Move to adjourn?
I second. Thank
Hold
you all.
on, hold
Oh.
on. Sorry, I didn't get my hand raised quick enough. Can I make a comment? This is Joe Stratton.
Sure, Mr. Stratton.
Hey,
Go.
Joe?
Thank you. I'm sorry, I wasn't quick enough earlier. I want to thank the township staff for suggesting that a couple of us participate in the Dare to Declare reading. And let me turn my video on here too, sorry. A few weeks ago on a rainy Sunday. And my brother and I, Bill, who's been a full lifelong resident of the township, I was gone for a couple years at college. We both participated and it was a wonderful experience. And I just want to pass along thanks to those that made this possible. And there's for anybody who hasn't seen it, a friend of ours did a Facebook live feed that is available if anybody needs that. And some of you know we are direct descendants of two signers of the Declaration. And so it was really a special day. And thank you for those that made this possible.
Thank you for
Thank you, Joe.
participating. Okay. So we'll go back to, I'll make a motion to conclude the meeting.
Second?
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Have a great